All right. All right. So we have Maddie Francis here. Thank you for talking with me today. I'm doing a class project about happiness, and I chose you as someone I would like to interview for your thoughts on that topic. Your answers cannot be right or wrong. They just reflect your own thoughts and feelings, and I'm hoping to learn a lot more about happiness from your perspective. You ready to get started?
Yep.
All right. So first question. I'd like to know how you define happiness, not what makes you happy specifically, but just happiness itself.
Um, I guess I define happiness as when you feel like your life is full of meaning and purpose. And it doesn't mean that you're constantly happy, but it means that you like frequently have things that give you meaning and purpose.
And yeah, it's good. There's no wrong answers, don't worry. And what type of things, when you say like have things that make you feel like you have purpose, what type of things are you talking about?
Um, Probably like the things that give me meaning and purpose, I mean.
Not you specifically, but like when you think about happiness, do you think about like your relationships? Do you think about like your work? Just like what type of things do you think people yeah that would define happiness with those type of like specifics?
Yeah, I guess like the different relationships you have in your life. Um, and also your work. Like you obviously want to be doing something that you enjoy and that you don't despise going to do every day if you're a working person. And then also having like a balance between your work life and your social life so that you don't always like the only things you're doing aren't work, but doing things that are like different than your 9 to 5. So like reading or working out or whatever. Animals.
All right. All right, another question. So how is wealth or money related to a person's long-term happiness?
Um, I think it depends on the person. Like some people need more than others. Depends on the lifestyle that you want to live. But um, obviously, like money can help you be comfortable and help you do some of the things that you want to do. But I think depending on the person, that amount of money that you have will vary.
All right. And for you specifically, now I know you just recently like entered the workforce coming out of college. Do you feel a greater sense of pride or happiness now that you're more reliant on yourself?
Um, yeah, yeah, in some ways. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that is a little more stressful, like paying bills and signing up for insurance and doing all the stuff that you've never done before. It's a little stressful and it can, it just adds different stressors in your life than like in school when you had tests and all that different stuff. But I definitely think it's like you have a newfound sense of independence, being able to financially support yourself,
Okay.
which, yeah.
All right. And then how much money do you think someone has to earn in order to be considered wealthy? And why that number?
Um, I don't know if I can give a number.
Maybe like an annual income be considered wealthy.
I don't know. Again, I think it depends on the person and like what they want in life. Because I think that like to some people making like 60K a year would be wealthy, but to other people only being wealthy would be making like 300K a year.
And
You know,
why do you think those people like what about those people would differ?
just like the different lifestyles that they want to live. Like if a person just wants to stay at home and like be in their house and hang out with the people around them, they don't really like buying a lot of things and they just kind of enjoy the things that they already have. They wouldn't necessarily need to be having so much more money, but that doesn't mean that they don't see themselves as being like wealthy in the things that they have. Whereas someone who wants to go travel and buy a brand new car and go out and do different things, I think they would need more money in order to be perceived themselves as wealthy and happy with that number.
All right. That makes sense. And I guess just like kind of following up with that, like how do you think that I guess like societal expectations or comparisons with other people, how do you think that impacts a person's happiness in terms of comparing yourself to other people with money or like in terms of situations?
Say that one more time.
Like following up on what you were just saying about how it depends on the person, how do you think that societal expectations or comparisons with other people in terms of wealth, in terms of comparing yourself to other people and how much money or how much wealth another person has, how do you think that can impact someone's happiness?
I think it can.
Your own,
What?
or specifically your own happiness. Like how does that
Oh.
impact your own happiness or someone? Yeah.
I think it can impact your own happiness, especially if you're a person who has less money than the people around you, because like if they're going and doing something and you can't afford it, then you feel probably a little like you might feel judged or
Maybe
like you
less.
don't fit in and you can't go and do the things that you want to do that other people are doing.
Mhm.
But if you feel like you're at the same level as the people around you, I think your happiness would be pretty much the same. But then if you have more, I feel like that could also impact your happiness depending on the person. It can make you feel like guilty, or you could become egotistical or something. I don't know.
All right. And then I got a little hypothetical question. Imagine you won a lottery with $100 million payout. What things would you do first with the money, and how do you think your life would change?
I go shopping. I would also, how much money did I win?
100 million.
I'd buy back grandma and granddad's ski house
All right.
and do that.
That'd be good. Uh,
Yeah. And then I don't know. I'd probably help people pay off their debts and stuff. Free school for you.
that'd be perfect. Um, do you think you would spend it more on like material objects, or maybe like try to spend it on like life experiences like travel, or things like that that you could develop memories with rather than maybe a big house or a TV or stuff like that?
I think I would want to spend it on trips and things like that, probably in experiences and going and doing things that I didn't think I could afford before. But I definitely would still spend it on material things.
Yeah, I mean it's 100 million.
Yeah,
Guys,
like that's a lot of money. I can go to the store and buy a few shirts and it won't make it done. So that'd be fun
exactly.
for my trip, for my life experiences.
Exactly, yeah. And then what benefits related to happiness does wealth provide a person? What would you say?
What benefits
Yeah,
does
what benefits do you think come from having wealth or having money?
well,
They-
I think it makes you more comfortable so you don't have to like worry like can I pay rent next month? Like how hard like how many hours maybe you have to work or something like that if you just like have wealth, unless it's related to how hard you work. But um I think it just gives you a level like a safety net so that like if your car breaks down, you're not freaking out because your car is dead and you might not be able to get to work and then you can't pay your rent and you can't pay your electricity. So I think that it gives you that safety net and makes you feel more comfortable, which can help you do other things to improve your happiness rather than worry about money.
That makes
Some
sense.
fun.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then I guess a little bit like kind of the other end of the spectrum. In your opinion, do you think wealth can obstruct a person's happiness, like potentially having too much wealth?
Yeah, I think it depends again on the person because I think if you're super wealthy, you can become kind of greedy and you can become also careless
Hmm.
with your money and the way you choose to spend it, which can result in people like losing all their money or losing the people around them because they just now have this sense of like entitlement or something. You know, like I think about it with like athletes when you see like somebody gets this huge football contract and then they blow all their money on like parties and cars and stuff, and they have no money despite the fact that they're in the NFL. I'm like, does that make you happy?
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
All right. And then I guess just last thing, is there anything else you'd like to add, just about happiness or money or in general? If not, it's okay, but
Nope.
nope. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for doing the interview with me.
Yeah, no problem.